is now a paid is now a paid school. So if you want to be a part of it, just reach out to us. We'll let you know. I'm sure there are a lot of people on this call right now who went through that particular academy. I did, and I learned a lot. Trust me. So please, it's one academy you just want to be a part of. So please, if you're going to be part of that, just reach out to us. And also, the link to our community will be dropped. So please do well to join our WhatsApp community. You will love it. You will love it. You will love it. You will love it. All right. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? We have one more lap to go. One more lap to go. If you're ready, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you're ready. Let me know if you are ready. Are you ready? This time we're going to be discussing something. We're going to be discussing raising, pardon me, the psychology behind raising outliers. The psychology behind raising outliers, understanding early development, mindset formation, and the foundation that shapes exceptional children. Are you ready? I can't see anybody telling me you're ready. Are you ready? You don't want to miss this part. You don't want to miss this part. Don't want to miss this part. Thank you so much. I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right in. Okay.
All
We are
right.
having our
Good.
Dr. Park. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause.
Good morning.
He has brought the energy back here and is about to blow our mind the second time. It's good to have you back, sir. It's good to have you
Oh
back.
my God. I haven't had have a good sleep.
We came back to wake you up because you needed to be here. So sorry.
Yes. Don't worry, I'll still get my energy up. All right, are we ready? So I have been following all the updates, all the sessions from Dr. Chioma to the panel session. Interesting and amazing conversation that I believe is helpful. So you want to, so when you are part of a conference like this, don't think you've heard everything. So what you do is you listen over and over again. Now that we have a digital library, you actually want to feast on the resources immediately after the conference is done, because I'm sure if she's not thinking about it, I'm telling her this video should be pulled off from YouTube and we put it on the digital library. So you want to access it, you gotta pay for it. Okay. You have to. So take advantage of it while it lasts. So it should be on YouTube till, let's say, Monday. So listen and listen again. Right. Although she didn't pay me to do this, but I mean, this is part of the benefit of marriage. So the Fresh Look Africa, uh, you guys are owing me. They play. So this session, I think this is the last session, right? So we can go to bed, right? Praise God. So I've been asked to speak on how children think, the psychology behind raising outliers. Actually, I shouldn't be the one to take this. So we're actually gunning for a top professor in my field, but um, she she's very busy, so I had to just step into this role for her. So when I saw the topic, what was going through my mind is how to crystallize how I can help parents or educators understand early development, mindset formation, and the very foundation that shape exceptional children, for the lack of word, right? And because I'm a psychologist, I always love to change questions to make you see things from another perspective, right? So I will start this session by shifting the question we usually ask. When you engage with parents and educators, what they usually ask is, how can I raise a smart child? Or how can I help this child, this my child, how can I help this child stand out? Or how can I make sure that my child doesn't fall behind in class? So this particular session is an offshoot of my keynote session. So if you miss that, you you may go to YouTube and watch the first part, then join it with this. So this is like a part two, right? So I haven't heard those myriads of questions that parents and educators usually ask. You will realize that psychology asks a different question, not just different, a more helpful question, which is, how does a child actually think right now? So whilst you're thinking of how to raise a smart child, how to help your child stand out, we are interested in how your child thinks at the moment, because you cannot support development that you do not understand. Like I always say, you cannot solve the problem of a generation that you do not understand. And many of our frustrations with children are not about behavior, as it were. They are just about misaligned expectations. Oh, especially African parents. Very funny kind of expectations that we have of our children. So let me say this to you. Children are not broken adults. Remember what I said um, in my first session, that your child or children are not adults in small bodies. If you forget your name, don't forget that. So, an offshoot of that first premise I made in my keynote is to say to you that children are not unfinished adults. Children are simply finished children. Full stop. Their thinking is not wrong. Their thinking is developmentally appropriate. So just let that sink into your mind. Like I said in my keynote, I told you how they think. I told you how that children think concretely before abstractly. Children think emotionally before logically. Children think relationally before independently. So when a child struggles to explain themselves clearly, when a child reacts emotionally instead of rationally, or when the child needs repetition, that is not a failure of intelligence. I still taught an undergraduate class yesterday on thinking and intelligence. When a child is going through all those developmental stages, that is just the brain developing in sequence. So when we demand adult reasoning from a developing brain, we simply create frustration for the child and for ourselves. A lot of parents are frustrated right now. They have no business being frustrated. You are frustrated because you are demanding an adult reasoning from a developing brain. So, understanding how children think does not lower standards. What it does is it aligns expectation. I have a 16-month-old daughter. There are certain things I don't expect from her, because she's just 16 months. So if she wakes up at the middle of the night shouting and crying, I don't belabor myself. That's not the time to start speaking in tongues, and I just grab her hands and I cuddle her till she's fine. Because that's part of the developmental uh, 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 behavior that she should exhibit. So the next question to ask is, how reasoning and curiosity, how do they develop? All right. I need to be sure you guys are with me. Let me check the charts. I don't know why I can't see the chat. Oh, I see what I clicked. Good. I always love feedbacks. I always love, don't mind me. An average psychologist will always love feedbacks. Good. Good. Since I see that we are together. So let's look at how reasoning and curiosity develop. Now, young children reason through experience, not explanation. And that is why, if you like, shout from now till tomorrow. And I'm talking about the from toddler to school age children, especially. All right. They reason through experience, not explanation. They learn by touching, they learn by observing, they learn by repeating, they learn by asking why. You see, that's why is not disrespect. That is why a lot of parents right now don't understand Gen Z. Because when you were a teenager or when you were young, if your dad says enter fire, you will enter fire. But now you try with a young person, you have questions to answer. That's why is not disrespect. It is what we call cognitive curiosity. But here is what often happens when adults feel rushed, when adults feel tired or anxious, we actually silence curiosity in the name of efficiency. So when I have this beautiful 5-year-old young lady around us, and she can ask questions. Oh, and you'll be tempted to just say, just do it. Or you just say, don't ask too many questions. There was a day she was asking me question. And the fact that, she uses Canadian or American accent, and, my own Nigerian accent is still very thick and strong. I still think in my Nigerian language. Sometimes I don't even understand what she's saying. I just said, see, I've explained this already. We do that. And the downside of that is over time, children now learn a quiet lesson. They learn a quiet lesson. And that lesson is thinking slows things down. They learn that compliance keeps things smooth. So instead of their curiosity working, instead of them asking questions, instead of them questioning things, and all those things raise their reasoning and inadvertently raise their intelligence. They just comply because at least if I don't talk, everything is smooth, everywhere is peaceful. And guess what? Curiosity, which is one of the foundation of exceptional thinking, begins to shrink. Outliers are not children who know more answers early. Remember what I said in the first session. Outliers are children who keep asking better questions longer. That's why I love psychology, because we have a lot of questions to ask. We ask questions every now and then. We question everything. Why do people behave like this? Why is this like this? Why is that like that? So if that is firmed up in your mind, then we can talk about the fact that mindset formation actually happens early and quietly. You see, mindsets are not formed during what I call aspire to perspire to Maguire. Mindsets are not formed during motivational talks. Mindsets are formed in everyday moments. Children, like I said, this is an offshoot of my first session. All right. Children learn what failure means when they make mistakes. Children learn what intelligence means by what earns praise. What do you reinforce? What behavior do you reinforce? Children learn what effort means by how adults respond to struggle. So if effort is met with impatience, then children learn avoidance. Oh, like what everybody has been saying on this platform. At the end of the term, your child comes home with his report card, and he came out 13th out of 15 people in the class. And you didn't check that previously your child, who was maybe last academic session or last semester, he or she was 10th position with 50%, but now your child has improved to having 70%, but now 13th position out of 15 people in the class. That's progress. But you were too impatient to notice that progress, and you couldn't acknowledge that effort. That child is going to learn avoidance. They are just going to comply. If mistakes are met with shame, children learn fear. If curiosity is met with dismissal, children learn silence. Do you see now? But when effort is acknowledged, guess what? Mistakes are normalized. Oh, I remember what happened on campus today. The registrar of the school where I work as a professor was sharing his faith story. How that it was a camp master that built confidence in him. That at the age of 9, they went camping and he had a terrible experience. He bedwetted. And guess what? Instead of the camp master to bully him, to shame him, guess what? He defended him. He chased every other person out of the room so that they won't know that this guy has bedwetted, demanded that his bed sheet is changed, his mattress changed, took him to the river and bathed him up. Guys, when effort is acknowledged, mistakes are normalized and questions are welcomed. Children learn that thinking is safe and that safety is the soil of growth. As I begin to wrap up, because of brevity of time, you must know that adult behavior shapes thinking of a child. And I need to say this very carefully so that you get it. Children don't just listen to adults, they organize their thinking around adults. So your tone matters, your language matters, your expectation matters. When adults constantly compare, children internalize competition. That is the report card we see in our society. Competitive society. Because the adults always compare. Ways. When adults emphasize outcomes over process, you have a Yahoo Yahoo generation. Then children externalize self-worth. An average undergraduate right now on the street of Lagos is a glorified prostitute. Body count now water. Do you understand? When adults model calm in difficulty, guess what children learn? They learn regulation. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. And consistency builds trust. And guess what that does to children? Trust frees children to think. Many children think these days. It's because we've modeled rubbish to them. We've modeled nonsense to them. Don't blame them. A wise man once said, don't blame them when you have refused to train them. Clock it. So let's move to performance conditioning and thinking development. I said something about that in the keynote session too. And I want to repeat it again because that distinction is very crucial. And it's because performance conditioning trains children to please authority. Yes, sir. Yes, ma. You know, especially if you're a Yoruba person, you have to prostrate, you have to kneel down. Please authority. Performance conditioning avoid mistakes. Ooh, I don't want to make mistake. When the child is doing dishes, you cannot distinguish as a parent the difference between the plate got broken and the child broke the plate. They are two different things. So because your child is doing the dishes and the plates got broken, you beat that child as if that child deliberately carried the plate and break it. Performance conditioning trains children to please authority, avoid mistakes, and seek approval. Thinking development helps children to learn to reason independently. They tolerate uncertainty and they self-correct themselves. As a parent, when you're operating with performance conditioning, remember in my keynote, I spoke about how children think when it is about performance conditioning. Now, let me flip it to parents' role. Any parent that is thinking, how do I get this child to comply? That is performance conditioning. Any parent who is thinking, how do I help this child understand? That is thinking development right there. See, compliance produces results. But guess what? Understanding produces wisdom. It's the difference. And we are talking about outliers here. Outliers are not children who need constant reminders. They are adults who can guide themselves. Your report card as an educator, your report card as a parent is not now. It is when that your child leaves the roof of your house, goes to school, leave Nigeria, go to India, go to France, go to US, go to Canada, and he can self-regulate. That is when we can clap for you. I can boldly say I'm a successful teens coach today because virtually all the teenagers that I've mentored are doing well. Some of them are graduates now, spread all over the world, living fine without supervision of either me or their parents. In fact, I saw a Facebook update of one of them. She's a nurse now, and she was describing her experience in a delivery room, how she was able to help a woman deliver triplets. I was proud of myself. She didn't need to come to say, hey, thank you, Uncle, but I'm made. That is your report card. So let's clear some common misconception, and I'll end it there because I need to sleep before Annabelle wakes up. Now, you must know that early reading does not guarantee deep comprehension. At least the situation of Nigeria, if you want to prove what I'm saying, just go to the comment section of major blog posts on Instagram. You see that people just lack the gift of comprehension. And they can speak spray English. Early reading does not guarantee deep comprehension. Early confidence does not guarantee resilience. Early success does not guarantee long-term stability. You know what I'm talking about. Where are those people that when you were in elementary school, they cover their books when they are writing exam? Where are they now? And you must know that development is not straight line graph. It's not linear. Growth is not predictable. And that is why comparison is misleading. See, it's okay. Some children, they bloom early. Good. But some children bloom late. Some children even bloom quietly. As a parent and as an educator, the goal is not to rush the blooming of any child. The goal is to protect the process. I'll say it again. The goal is not to rush the blooming of any child. The goal is to protect the process. For the last time, the goal is not to rush the blooming of any child. The goal is to protect the process. I've worked with clients whose children were troublesome when they were teenagers. Now they are making them proud. It's just a process, guys. And what you do in that process matters. So let me end this session by lifting a weight many of you are carrying. You are not failing because your child is still figuring things out. You are not doing it wrong because growth looks uneven. You are not behind because development takes time. Children do not need perfect adults. What they need is present, reflective, and intentional adults. So when adults understand how children think, you stop fighting development. And what you do is you partner with it. Because I'm also a pastor, I was sharing in church 2 Sundays ago that you don't fight seasons, you adjust to seasons. Now in Canada, it's snow season. In North America, what do? Go get your winter jacket. You don't say, oh, you snow, I stop you in the name of Jesus. Or God will tell you, go and buy your winter jacket, my friend. Because it is winter season. Same thing with developmental stages. You don't fight it, you partner with it. And that partnership, that alignment is one of the greatest gifts we can give a child. T for thanks. Thank you. Drop mic.
Serious dropping my Mr. Where shattered tables. Oh. Wow, this is so explosive. This is so explosive. Somebody said something, but I'm not going to mention. It's even outside Zoom. They said every sentence in Mr. Quest talk is like a punchline. Wow, 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 wow.
Thank
You
you.
don't fight
Thank you.
seasons. You adjust to seasons. you don't fight the developmental process. You partner with it. I think that's Mr. Okwe. can we just continue?
Eh?
Or we just
And I bet we
like,
wake up now, she will scatter this whole conference.
wow, this is so much. This is so much. Can I see that fire emoji? Because it's like this list is getting hot. Seriously getting hot. Seriously getting hot. Thank you so
If they
much.
did not drop it, we'll just cancel the conference too.
Miss Mavi, I wish everybody on this call can just unmute their mic and just bombard you with their thank yous because it is a lot. So Mavi, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
For me, right, this session, I'll just use a word, and that's succinct. It was so direct and, exceptional.
I think your audio is
Marvelous, your
low.
mic is low.
Yeah,
Is it
very
because you are
low.
getting married soon now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
It's
Okay.
sort of better.
Okay, I said for this session, I'm just going to use a word to describe it, and that's succinct. It was just so brief and
Hmm.
crisp.
Succeed. Lucky.
I
I
really
think I
enjoyed
think I think Dr.
that.
Ope touched you too now. You're part of those that used to cover your books there. I don't know
Yes,
why.
I remember when I was in school. We want to write it that is no, we cover our books and
You
how
say,
we're like I feel like
Madam
so
Covered.
I
All
enjoyed
right.
everybody.